All right, so the motor's in. Got that done yesterday. It's just sitting there. It's loosely, just sitting there really. I still got to tighten it up. You can see the gap right there. Just need to tighten everything up. Pilot bearing should be in there good. Just your basic Holley intake, nothing special. If you remember, there was that bunch of ribs on top of this thing. This is just a standard style, I guess, non-VVT, non-DOD Vally cover. It has O-rings that seals to all those open ports on top of the motor because this was a displacement on demand motor, but we're not using that. So there's just this Vally cover, covers those holes, and has an O-ring that seals up to them. So make sure you torque this down or impact it really good and nice and even so it seals up nicely. If not, you might have some oil pressure issues. All right, so let's go over here. I was asked about how the t56 works or how it's set up. All right, so ignore the mess, but this is just a Willwood generic or universal reservoir. Just got brake fluid in it. You know, like I said, it's just pretty basic setup, nothing special. Kind of yucky in there. I said yucky, what the fuck? All right, just a tube that runs down there. This is a stock 98 or to 2002 F-body master cylinder. This is another universal piece from Willwood. It connects here. There's like a compression fitting deal right there. Right, compression fitting here. This is a Willwood piece. It's just a braided line. I'm sure the factory one would work. I just went with that because I tried to use a TIC or TIC performance master cylinder. It didn't work. The slave cylinder, this line here, just goes down to the slave cylinder, and it's just goes to a factory slave cylinder. This right here, it bolts to the firewall. That's a Detroit Speed swap piece. You will have to trim. Well, Detroit Speed little swap piece there. To get a good view. Man, my car is messy. But you kind of see how it just bolts behind the brake master. If you've got an adjustable length, I forget what it's called, a little rod back there for the brake master, you might have to adjust it out a little bit. But like I said, universal Willwood piece. Just has a little piece of rubber hose. Goes down to a stock 98 to 02 Camaro master clutch master cylinder. That's a universal, like I said, just braided. That's a compression fitting in there, and it goes down to the factory style LS 98 to 02 clutch hydraulic throwout bearing. Or yeah. All right. Go to the inside of the car. This is a race car. It's not meant to be pretty. Just take people's money. Oh man! All right. So under here we got a stock. It's actually not stock. It's out of a '76 Firebird clutch pedal. So I didn't use the 4th gen stuff because it's a pain in the ass. Remember how I said you had to trim that hole just a little bit to fit it? You don't have to overdid it like I did. I originally bolted it to the firewall, but it didn't work. It was too steep of an angle. So don't do that. You don't have to over trim it. Just kind of look at, let's see here. Look at my car. Yours should be the same if you got like a 2nd gen or something. Get these wires out of the way. All right. So like I said, see, you don't have to trim a whole lot, just a little bit. All right, so don't overdo it like I did it. I did this like 6 years ago before there was a whole lot of, I don't know, thoughts going on. All right, so that's like a 76 clutch pedal out of a Firebird. Okay, let's see here. Now, on that 98 to 02 clutch master, it's got to come with a really flimsy rod, okay? You're gonna bend that the first time you use it because the that Detroit Speed bracket isn't exactly the right angle. So what I did was I went to Willwood and, oh man, this is like really bad. All right, so I went to Willwood and got that guy. Okay, it's just a heavy duty adjustable length push rod or a clutch rod or however you want to call it, I'm not sure, with a lock nut so it doesn't move, okay? And then I ground down the end. All right, so it fits in there, because on the stock, see how it's ground down and it goes right into that clutch master. Okay, because like I said, the stock one, it's a little bit out of angle and you're gonna bend it. It don't matter. It's just not, it's gonna bend. All right, so get the heavy duty one, grind it down, make it fit. The stock rod that comes out of there, it just pulls out. Just give it a good tug. It will pop right out. It won't hurt it or nothing. I've been using the same one for a couple of years now. And then it just works smoothly. Okay, see? Well, let's see, get a picture here. See? You just kind of, there's no binding or anything, nothing weird wearing. I don't drive this car much, to be honest, but I haven't had any issues with this setup in a while. Or I had one master go bad, but I think it was a used master or something happened, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's it. And it just attaches, like I said, it's like a universal setup, so it has a little U-shaped deal that goes around it. Use your factory setting or your factory holes on this pedal, okay? There should be 2 sets. Use the upper one so that you get more leverage. If you try to drill down below this pedal, okay, if you drill any lower than that, it's going to give you less leverage and it's going to make for a really hard clutch pedal, you know, and you're going to think, oh, I'm a man, you know. Nah, it's just wrong. You need to drill it higher so you get as much leverage as possible, okay? But other than that, that keeps it simple. It works. It's been working for me. I've driven this car, I don't know, 15, 20,000 miles or something like that. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so more T56 stuff. Ignore my car. It's, like I said, a mess. It sits here a lot and things get rearranged. Okay, so if you've got these 2 holes here, you need to measure, well, ignore that. So measure from, if you can bolt your engine and your T56 together, measure the distance off the back of your, well, that's a bad, god damn it. Shit. Let's see here. Oh man, I'm gonna have to get you guys a measurement. Okay, so if you look at this, like I said, I did this a few years ago. I didn't do any research. I just kind of winged it, and I got close. If you don't want such a big nasty hole, like see how big my hole is, you know, it's fucked up. Okay, all right, you need to geez man, I'm gonna say, okay, so there's a brace underneath here. Okay, so all right, it just goes, oh man, I don't know how to explain it, but okay, so there's a brace that's here. You need to measure 2.5 inches, well, 1.5 inches off the front of that brace. Like if you look underneath the car, you'll see it. You know, go a good inch. You know, your index finger is about 1 inch. So the brace, like I said, it's flat, about 1 inch, and then take your measurements for this hole from there. So go up 1 inch from that brace that's back there. It's there, trust me. And then go out, you know, the length of your shifter, and then just make a small hole. You don't need some big gaping fucking hole like I did here. I still got to go back and fill this in. My trans tunnel isn't cut. Like a lot of these guys like to, you know, cut, you know, over here and there, and then make their own, raise it and all that shit. It's fine. Don't cut it if you don't want to. There's a piece of rubber on your T56 that touches just right there. You might need to like grind that little rubber deal off just a little bit. We're talking like 1/4 inch or so to keep it from touching. If you got a big cam, some other engines, the car shakes a little bit more, and I think part of it is it does touch the trans tunnel. But I mean, if you've got a big hammer, just hit it a couple times and you're good. You don't need to cut out your trans tunnel if you don't want to, okay? But like I said, just take your time when you cut this big freaking hole here, so you don't end up with a big freaking hole. Like I said, there's a brace underneath the car. It's made onto the car, part of the body, and go about 1 inch. You know, your index finger about 1 inch, and then drill a small hole and just kind of test fit, you know, and then kind of trim around it so you don't have a big nasty hole and have to fill it in. Like I said, I did this, 5 or 6 years ago. Didn't do a whole lot of research. I just kind of winged it, and that's what I ended up with. Big, nasty, ugly hole. Okay. Okay, so your reverse lockout, that's over there. It doesn't touch anything. Okay. It's just you can see mine right there. Reverse lockout. You can take that thing apart and put a washer in there and not use it, but I prefer, if I'm going to, I think it's 6th or 5th or whatever it is, not to hit reverse and clank a bunch of shit, because that'd just be bad. Okay, so like I said, reverse lockout, doesn't hit anything. Just kind of be, diligent about your measurements, so you don't end up doing some dumb shit like I did here, because I still got to weld this and fill it in and shit. Okay, that should be it. Oh, okay, if you can see that cross member right there, that's an aftermarket cross member. I think it's not Speed Engineering. I don't want to crawl anything wet. Look right now because grass is wet, but well, maybe you can see. Oh, geez, I'm not sure, but it uses the back of the t56. I use like a stock small block Chevy TH400 350 mount. It's a polyurethane deal. I don't know. Like I said, it's pretty simple. It centers it. The car's got like, I don't know, 6 different drill holes that you can align that cross member. So you can just use those to make it work. If you buy the one for the T56 and want to go auto later, all you got to do is throw in like some 1-inch spacers for your, if it's a TH400 or 350 or whatever, you got to space it up with something. Oh shit, maybe I can see what kind of cross member that was. Like I said, it's been some years since I bought this thing. I'm going to call it G-Force Engineering, because I'm not getting down in the grass for you guys. Sorry. Oh man. Show you a couple other things here. But I think it's G-Force Engineering is who makes that. But it's a really good piece. It's really stiff. You can actually tell, like, I don't know how the car doesn't twist up as much as it used to. Hang on for a second here. Bear with me here. I've got to find that other one. Wow, okay, I saw it yesterday, but I don't see it today. Well, that sucks. Okay. Well, like I said, you can use like a universal cross member mount and just put some ends on it, and it works fine. You don't have to spend, $230 for that bracket there. You can spend $40 for a universal piece and then put some ends on it, and you'll be okay. If you're running a T56 or like an older 3-speed, what you can actually do is you take your factory cross member out, and there's going to be the part where the transmission bolts to it. Cut it off, extend it out 1.5 inches, and you're going to have to either slot those holes going backwards, and your T56 will actually set inside the car. But like I said, you just got to extend the part out that the transmission bolts to. If I can, I'll try and find my old ones, and I'll show you what I mean. But like I said, the T56 will actually work with the factory cross member. You just got to chop off the old tab and weld on a longer tab, or extend it out like 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and then drill or slot the part where the transmission mount bolts on, and it'll work too. So like I said, you can spend as little or as much as you want to. Just depends on what your budget is or how ingenuitive you are. If you got any more questions, just ask or post on the LSX or second gen page or whatever the hell it is. All right, thanks. Bye.